How's it going, guys? No, the mustache is not a ploy to steal some of Spraggle's market share. Okay, I had a very unfortunate incident where the razor guard fell off while I was shaving, and now we're here. We're talking today about an Arceus EX deck that requires a little bit of thinking to play, which is how I like to play Pokemon Pocket. I don't want to do the Dialga and just Arceus stuff. I want to think while I'm playing my Arceus deck, okay? Because it is just like the best attacker. An old-time friend, Greninja. I haven't seen him in a while. But in this deck, because Arceus is colorless, we get to play the dual energy, the water and fire, meaning that our Druddigon, who's going to be the early wall, or the Greninja can both get active. So we've got damage, pinging. We have multiple attackers in this deck. We just have a lot of options to help us win games. If you've been looking for a bit of a more skill-intensive way to play the game, you want a bunch of options in your deck and not just a very linear approach to the game, this is the list for you. So let's get into those games and I'll show you how it works. Going first with an Arceus start is maybe the worst thing you could see. Maybe the worst thing you could see. You don't get the energy attachment, and you got this guy in the active spot. Second Arceus. Okay, interesting. I guess I'll rip the Pokeball. I mean, I would love it to be a Froakie, but it's not going to be. Yeah, you don't ever get what you wish for. All right, we can bench Druddigon, I guess. It takes a card out of my deck. A lot of options we could draw that would be much more helpful than this. If my opponent's going to go aggro on the Arceus and just start attaching to him, I'm going to bench this other Arceus and start attaching to that one. Yeah, I want to be swinging first, but since I can't be swinging first, I need to be swinging with a fresh one. Yeah, that's the only way I win this exchange. If he's going to commit all of his energy to Arceus, then I'm going to commit all my energy to my benched Arceus and let him do the heavy lifting. Attachment there, it's fine. Still no other basics for my opponent. At least it's not Dialga setting things up while I'm kind of sitting here stumbling. There's research. That's good. That's good. We want to see a Froakie. Leaf and Froakie. Okay, cool. Cool. So next turn I can even Leaf and just sort of... Which I will do, for sure. For sure. I want to start attacking before my opponent has the option to put energy anywhere else, right? He's going to have to use this attachment, and I want to start attacking before my opponent can hopefully build up, like, second Arceus or whatever. I have the Giant Cape as well to prevent the, retreat, and then my opponent goes, oh, just kidding, I have two other basics in my hand and a Giovanni to knock out your Arceus. So we're feeling fine. We're feeling fine. Best top deck here would be Frogadier. So next turn I can maybe just go Greninja ping, knock this out, and then knock out whatever else comes up. If it's just the Shaman in the active spot. I don't know what my opponent's considering. Probably basics going onto the ground. Rocky Helmet. Okay, that does put me in that circumstance still, where things could get a little bit weird. Which is... okay, I guess. I mean, I sort of still have to play into his potential play that I was just discussing, where he has two basics and a Giovanni in hand. Yeah, that Rocky Helmet sort of ruins that, but the worst case is that maybe I just draw Frogadier and I can sort of send him up and poke for 30 and finish the knockout. If he has a potion as well, the hand would have to be double basic plus potion plus Giovanni, which is a lot to ask for. If my opponent has that, he's the GOAT. But if not, yeah, we can just go in with Froakie after this. And then try to figure out the rest of the game from there. Let's see. Let's see what my opponent's got. It is a big if for my opponent to have that. Cyrus. Okay, so he's just going to take his two right here. And just an attachment to the Shaman, which I'm not afraid of. That seems fine to me. I think our one Arceus should be able to get through. Yeah, when you're playing these, like, big basic things, it's usually very, very important that you are either the first attacker or whatever you're attacking into needs to be the Pokemon with the energy. We have the water and the fire here, so I'm just going to put this on Greninja in case I need to attack with Greninja for some reason. We can do that. Let's take that knockout. And I don't see a way where my opponent can sort of prevent what I'm going to do next turn. He could Mars, for sure. He could Mars and make things a little bit trickier for us. But I'm eyeing up this Shaman. I got the play in my hand. I can go Greninja plus Cyrus and take care of it. But even if not, the only thing my opponent really has the means to do is attach to a Dialga and try that path. Because he's going to lose this energy on Shaman unless he finds second Shaman. And then the Dawn thing isn't really going to be a play. There's Arceus. Okay, so here's his full bench. Or almost full bench. Attached to Dialga. He does have the X speed. But attaching to Dialga means that now he can't Dawn power up that Arceus in one turn. And he already used Research, so we're not seeing a Mars. So unless it's red card instead of Mars, we should just have it. There is also the chance that if he uses red card, we draw back into Greninja plus Cyrus, which I just need Greninja at this point. Seeing no Giant Cape. Yeah, I don't even need to Cyrus up this Shaman. Rocky Helmet to the Dialga. Okay. Nope, that's it. That's the game. Yeah, very, very important that you are the first one to damage whatever has all the energy on it. Very, very important. All right, ping that Dialga. And swing for my knockout. Or not. Or not. Very interesting situation to be in. A Fire-type deck. While we have the full Greninja line in hand, a Research and a Pokeball. Very strong opening hand. Okay. Second Frogadier. Got our Arceus. Sure. I mean, if you're gonna push me this way, game, I guess I'm gonna try it. We're gonna try double Greninja game, I guess. See if we can get it done. The double Frogadier is so strong. I don't know what version this is. I don't know what this Eevee is gonna evolve into. Could it be a Leafeon Firebox? I mean, Leafeon does kind of open those possibilities. Now, the unfortunate thing is, if this is a Leafeon, I'm going to lose one of these Frogadiers here. Well, do I want to retreat into the Druddigon with my one Leaf? Maybe. It's not like he has bench sniping. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna live on the edge here. We're gonna go for double Greninja. We'll use the Leaf. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not worried about what my opponent's doing. There's a water energy as well. So maybe just a deck list error of this is like a... just an attach to Eevee. If I hadn't done that, I could have won. I mean, I would have had to attach to a Greninja first, but... let's go Water Shuriken on the Eevee and just try to figure out what it is my opponent's playing. Is it a Flareon? Flareon's not very good. There's probably 4 better things this Eevee could evolve into than a Flareon, to be honest. But maybe with maybe they're trying to do something with the new... nope, there is the Leafeon. Okay. So yeah, it is cool. Like, Leafeon does open the potential for the decks you can play. He allows you to do weird stuff like this, where you can play other energies. You don't just have to go straight grass with Leafeon. Is he gonna Forest Breath? He's gonna Cyrus up my Frogadier. That stinks. I really wanted to see a double Greninja game, but it is what it is. That's why we didn't evolve that one, because I really didn't want him to get Cyrused. My opponent's at 140 HP. It's like I can promote the Arceus. I have the giant... I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have good odds to find another basic here. Or Giovanni. I've got pretty decent odds to find something that lets me get this knockout. I don't, though. So I guess in that case, I'm going to... this isn't good. This isn't good anymore. Well, yeah, no, I'm worried about this guy. I'm not worried about the Leafeon two-shotting my Arceus because I have the Giant Cape. I'm worried about this one becoming a Glaceon or something. And that just wouldn't be fantastic. So let's go ahead. We'll reveal that we have the Giant Cape to fix our damage. Is my opponent playing 2 Giovanni? I don't know, but I'm more worried about this thing becoming a Glaceon than this Leafeon attacking me twice. And next turn, unless my opponent plays some heals, I do still have the potential to knock this Leafeon out right here. Yeah, this is okay. It's okay. I do wonder where the fire energy came from. Still, I'm not really seeing it. Maybe it's Leafeon Flareon? Okay, there's Potion to take him out of range. Yeah, but if that Eevee became a Glaceon, my opponent would have potentially been able to attack. I guess he was what did he get? Did he get another water that turn, or was it a fire energy? Second Greninja, it's not it. It's not quite what I need. I am still getting good damage here. More than my opponent can heal. Doing 130. So I should still be able to knock this Leafeon out next turn? Yeah, he doesn't possibly have enough. It's just about, can my Arceus survive the turn? Which I think he can. I don't know what my opponent could be playing that could attack for a grass and a water energy and do 90 damage to me. Just a concession. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Cyrusing up that Eevee was very important for us. I hate this, man. It's so dumb. I hate this deck. I hate this deck. We have the Leaf in hand, but I mean, am I going to play around turn 1 Misty for 1 energy or 2 energy? No, I'm just going to try to, like, get something else going here. I would probably want the Froakie more. Yeah, at least we can get into a quick Greninja. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't love the spot that this puts me in. This deck is just so dumb. We gotta figure this out. Like, we gotta get around this somehow, developers. This strategy should not be viable. It was fine that it was viable in Genetic Apex, but we should have got... Okay, never mind. I see Manaphy, I'm fine. I see Manaphy, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. Yep, alright, cool. Just a standard Palkia box then. I'm much happier about that. It's probably worse matchup for us, because my opponent can get so many things going, and I do just kind of gotta research. I don't love... maybe I'll get another Arceus to put in the... Nope. Okay. I was hoping for Druddigon or something, because I don't really want this Articuno to just sort of go nuts on us. I guess if we can avoid him... Come on. Come on. Good. Good. Alright, so my opponent will just be hitting for 40, which is fine. It's fine if he wants to put all this stock into Articuno, because I do have Greninja. I will be able to knock this out and then kind of leave my opponent with nothing. Alright, Pokeball. Second Arceus. I feel like I still should just invest into this one. And sort of... I don't want to bench this and give him, like, a Cyrus option. I will need this Giant Cape. I will need this. I guess the way we win... Like, I don't want this Arceus to get hit by the Blizzard damage. I guess the way we win this is... just dodging a Misty going well for our opponent. Right? He's gonna need... Well, he'd need a Misty for, like, 2 heads. I do have this Cyrus, so I can take down this Articuno, or wherever the energy might end up. Potion. Well, that makes it harder. I need now 1 more basic. And if my opponent has a Giant Cape, then that kind of doesn't work anymore. Just a Potion. Okay, I need another basic this turn. Right now. Come on. Druddigon. Beautiful. Alright, and we saved the bench to Arceus. So now, my opponent doesn't really have a lot of options to do 40 damage this turn. I might just be able to close things up. Let's go Articuno here. And in my infinite wisdom, in case my opponent's playing Mars, I'm going to thin the Leaf out, because, like, worst case scenario is he either Cyruses or Greninjas, and then plays Red Card or Mars, whatever. But I will be able to retreat this thing for just 1 attachment and then be able to finish the game out. I just want to make sure I have a Cyrus so I can pick something on my opponent's side to take the knockout on. Because I don't see this Arceus going down. I don't know what my opponent could be playing that could do that, but I don't see it. I mean, he would need Retreat out of Manaphy into something that can do 40 damage, and or he would need like bench another Articuno plus Misty to it. Well, I guess that's his key. I thought we were safe because he's playing the one promo. If he does that, things get really, really weird here. There's Sabrina, like I was talking about. So just send up Greninja. I can retreat it for the one. I'd be surprised to see a red card here too, but I'm just trying to play towards every out possible. Opponent concedes. Okay, I was giving you the Greninja every time, man. You weren't tricking me. That's who I was sending up. We got there. Bro started Sudowoodo and Hitmonlee. Left me with no good options. I kind of want a Druddigon here, buddy. Kind of want a Druddigon to put in front of this Sudowoodo. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're not going to research this turn. We're just going to... I mean, if I get Sabrina, it would suck to waste this Leaf like that. But, I mean, there's not really much I can do. It will hold second Arceus. I don't expect my opponent to go Leaf into Hitmonlee and then start pinging this one. If he does, that's when I'll bench the second one and start attaching to that instead. You don't see a lot of Hitmonlee going around. You really don't anymore. So it's kind of sucks to see one here. A lot of the Rampardos decks just go for the Sudowoodo plus a Marshadow and then the Lucario and you know, Rampardos line, and that's how they get their wins. You don't see a lot of them with Hitmonlees. But on the bright side, I don't know that my opponent really has a way to retreat this Sudowoodo besides just attaching to it and manually getting out of there. Ah, man, we want... Like, I don't even want to build up an Arceus. I mean, I will, but... You really want Greninja. You want a quick Greninja to either Cyrus up that Rampardos before he becomes a problem, or to be able to trade better with it. You don't want double Arceus here. It's not great for you. But as long as we can get through one. I mean, my opponent's going to have to attack for... Yeah, like, ideal board setup here would be double Druddigon, a Froakie, and then an Arceus as your, like, late game guy. I do have the second Arceus to, like, give up as a prize, which is cool. My opponent can't even take the one-shot. He doesn't even have a, what is it called? He doesn't even have a Lucario in play right now. He's just getting the quick Rampardos. Which is fine if he wants to come up and swing into the Druddigon. There's a Greninja. All right, so let's hope for a Froakie here. We've used both Pokeballs, so we just got to... Cool, there he is. All right, and now this Fire Energy can go here. I mean, he's a ways off of becoming a beautiful, powerful Greninja that will be able to do something. There's Rampardos. Okay, I mean, I can take the Revenge KO if he decides to start swinging with it. That's fine. That's fine. If you want the two prizes now, I'll give it to you. I should hopefully be able to get through two Pokemon with just... Or three Pokemon with just one Arceus. I'll be able to knock out the Rampardos. I'll be able to knock out the Sudowoodo. And I'll have the Giant Cape to keep me healthy. There's still no Lucario here. So this Arceus can do it. He can do it. Especially with this Giant Cape. This Giant Cape kind of lets me do this. Let's see here. Second Frogadier, pretty useless. We go here, and we Giant Cape this guy. And then from here, I don't expect to be attacking with Greninja, I don't think. It's probably... Well... I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The only thing I can think of is if my opponent goes Hitmonlee onto the Druddigon, and then I got to find a knockout there. Now, if he benches Marshadow and attaches to it for some reason, I'm just going to Cyrus that up. Just an attack with Sudowoodo. Okay, so there's 70. And from here, I don't see what my opponent could do. This deck is tricky. Yep, just a concession. Deck's tricky sometimes. You usually only get one Rampardos up, and you got to be using it efficiently. If you're doing something like that, that ain't efficient. That's not efficient. But we would have had the means to bring that Rampardos up and knock it out before my opponent did that play. So he probably should have just bided his time a little bit better. But it is what it is. Another fighting type deck. Guys, don't get it twisted. Unless it's Rampardos, these things aren't really great right now. Well, Gallade's okay. Gallade's okay. But we have ways to deal with Gallade. As long as it's not Garchomp. Garchomp's the one... Okay, it is Gallade. It is Gallade. That's fine. As long as there's no Hitmonlee. If there's Hitmonlee, things get sucky. For sure. We do need, like, early... I'm gonna say we need early Frog. We don't have early Frog. So we just bench Arceus and attach to him. He's still gonna be our best attacker. Yeah, you want the Frog early. Pokemon Communication. It's like almost fine if he gets into an early Gallade. It's okay. He's not going to be one-shotting my Druddigon walls. Attachment to Marshadow is really fine with us. We have second research, so let's just hope for some Pokeballs or basics or something to help us out here. There's Froakie, and there's another Arceus. Okay. So we do need some Sabrina protection. It is sadly going to have to be second Arceus hits the bench. It is what it is. But my opponent isn't really getting close to a Gallade. I mean, he is sort of, but if he attaches this Marshadow, I will be free to go knock him out. We might just see a Hitmonlee ping onto our benched Arceus. Nope, an attachment to Kirlia. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. As long as I have a way to build up the damage on this Gallade, I will attach here, but then I'm going to start looking to attach to this Arceus. We have the Greninja. It's like the most important part of this. I could have Leaf there and taken the knockout, but I am afraid of my opponent just going into Gallade and doing that thing. This isn't fun either. This is not fun. My opponent does have the option to go retreat. No? Onto the Frogadier. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. My opponent does not have a way to knock out. So now you're in a weird spot where you would really like to Leaf out, but there is the risk of that Gallade. How much will Gallade do? He does 70 plus 20, right? So he'll be doing... What is the math? I don't think I survive it without a giant cape, but 70 plus 60, 130. Yeah, I need a giant cape to survive it. And after this turn, I assume this Hitmonlee is going to put 20 or 30 here. I don't feel good. I need to just wait one more turn. Just one more turn, and then I can Leaf into this Arceus, attack the Hitmonlee. Kirlia might come up. He might just attach to the Marshadow too. Maybe I Cyrus now to waste this attachment. Right? Force an X speed or something? This gets so tricky when you're sitting behind a Druddigon and there's a wall here. I guess I'm just going to pass. These dang Hitmonlees, man. There's Gallade. Makes sense. Makes sense. There's attachment to Marshadow. Okay, things are getting scary. A 30 poke on my Arceus means that Marshadow will be able to revenge KO. Yep, there's that. Okay, so there are two ways for my opponent to revenge KO, and the only way I can prevent both of them... Well, let's see here. So if I retreat into Arceus, I can knock this out. Next turn, I can go Cyrus onto this guy and take my 2 and win the game that way. What would I have to dodge? A potion plus a giant cape? Because even potion won't do it for him. I think I got to play to that. Yeah, I can't really wait around anymore. There's too many options for my opponent to win. And the only way I get out of it is by finding a giant cape to, like, put on the Greninja so it can't be Cyrus'd up for the knockout after this. This is about all I can do. Is take my 1 prize here and then hopefully be able to finish off this Gallade. I guess if my opponent knocks this out with Mars Shadow as well, I could just, like, promote. Just gonna concede. Okay, that's pretty shocking. I feel like there were still routes for my opponent to get there, but I guess he didn't see a way. I guess he didn't see a way. I'm going second against the Dark deck, so I want to start the Froakie over the Arceus, because if he gets Cyrus later in the game, it's fine. But if my one lone Arceus gets damaged first, I don't really love that. I don't really love that. Looks like this is going to be, what is it? Arceus plus Darkrai plus Crobat. Which is fine. It's fine. It is very scary. It is very, very scary. We're going to have to choose our targets very carefully. Or just hope that my opponent builds up the Darkrai over the Arceus, because that guy will be able to return KO my Arceus for free. Or not for free, but in one hit. But the Darkrai won't quite be able to get there, I think. We have second Froakie, so we can just sort of leave this Froakie as the acting wall for now. And bench the other one. How much will Darkrai be able to do? Be able to do 100 plus 130 from the Crobat. Okay, so unless my opponent sets up double Crobat, which isn't a real concern I need to have. It is always possible, but my opponent finding 2 stage 2 lines is, you know, not likely, I would say. All right. That's double Crobat. That's double Crobat. Or double Golbat. Not a good sign. So we're going to need to find the Greninja, and we're going to need to aggressively take out that Darkrai. Not aggressively, but if he's going to be swinging with Crobat or whatever it is he plans to do, we will need a way. And just has the Dawn. Okay, well, at least I know that my opponent has, like, nothing else in his hand. That's something. That's something. It's good to know your opponent is playing with just one card. Second Greninja. Don't need that. I need a Frogadier. Leaf and a Druddigon. That is so nothing. That is the most nothing you've ever seen. At least I have Leaf to go into Arceus after this. And my opponent is a couple turns away from being able to attack with Darkrai. And I'll be doing my max damage output. So it's not all bad, right? He goes Crobat here. Cool, whatever. I send up Druddigon. He swings into that. Or doesn't. I don't know what he wants to do. But I will be able to get aggressive here. And hopefully, I'm honestly hopeful that my opponent leaves this Crobat in the active spot so I can knock it out next turn. I would love to take out this Crobat. Because I don't see, again, it's pretty unlikely that my opponent finds both of them. It is possible, but it's pretty unlikely. And yeah, just taking out the Crobat here would be pretty nice. Just a Darkness Fang. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. My opponent will be able to, like, Cyrus up this Druddigon and then attach and take a knockout there, but it's cool. What's better? Second Druddigon or second Arceus? Probably second Arceus, I guess. Both are fine. Would have loved it to be a Frogadier, but it's still not. I mean, I guess, like, I need Frogadier plus Cyrus before this play even becomes possible to take out this Darkrai. But as long as I can avoid the second Crobat, I should be fine to just take this game. I guess my opponent could send up Darkrai. And he'll live a hit. He has 9 cards left in deck. He hasn't really played much of any. He's played 1 Research, 1 Pokeball. But he is still just relying on top decks right now, which is good for us. Very good for us. Opponent's running out of time. There's the Golbat. Okay. It's cool. It's cool. Another Dawn. No, another Dawn here would not be bad. I'm fine with this Darkrai losing energy if that's how my opponent wants to do it. A Crobat would be worst case scenario. Again, okay. All right. We've successfully avoided it, and there's Frogadier finally. So with this, I'm not going to be attacked. No, but I might need it, because if my... Yeah. Well, I could... No. And I was thinking, like, maybe I waste the Leaf now in case a Mars is coming, because I will need some way, but I think this is fine. Let's do this. If my opponent uses Cyrus, I might need to just send up that fresh Arceus and manually retreat him or whatever. I'll keep the options open and try to just pretend like Mars isn't a card that some decks are playing. He is playing a stage 2 deck, so usually you don't find the space for hand disruption. Attachment to Darkrai. A Rocky Helmet would stink. Giant Cape. That also is not great for us. That's not great for us at all. The Darkrai is now out of range, and I didn't have any time to do Greninja. I need a Cyrus off the top here, or else we're going to be hoping my opponent doesn't have a Cyrus of his own. Giant Cape. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. It's not the card we needed. So, at this point, we go Greninja ping here. Attach. We needed a Cyrus or a Giovanni. We had 50-50 outs. And we do this. And I guess we can use the Leaf, because like no matter what, if my opponent has a Cyrus here, it's GG's anyways. We send up this to just live one more turn. That's tough, man. That's tough. No Cyrus, no Giovanni. We've hit every supporter but the damage boosting ones to help me win. Please no Cyrus. It'd be really cool if you didn't have one. Please. 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 Research. Okay. We're alive. We're alive. My opponent now needs a potion to survive. He needs a potion. A potion or else we win. And then he needs to avoid me hitting a 50... more than a 50-50. We have 3 out of 5 outs to win if my opponent has potion. Nope. All right, cool. We got there. All right, great. Great. Wow, dude. My opponent's deck was thin there at the end. There's the Giovanni. Opponent conceded. Okay. All right, we played that as best as we could. That was a tricky game. Opponent had a fast Crobat and still managed to get there, even though our draws weren't totally perfect.